Hi, in this video I'll be talking about car dealers and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. This is Bill Clanton, consumer protection attorney. I've sued car dealers, debt collectors, credit reporting agencies, and helped hundreds of consumers deal with these types of companies. Now, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act is a powerful law, federal law, that says that a creditor cannot, or somebody offering credit, cannot discriminate against anybody seeking credit on the basis of religion, national origin, etc. All on any basis, really. It's very broad. No discrimination is allowed, and including whether or not somebody relies on public assistance. It cannot be a factor in granting somebody or turning somebody down for credit. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act also, and this is where it applies to car dealers especially, requires that a potential creditor, when they decline you for credit, issue an adverse action notice. That adverse action notice has to tell you why you were turned down for credit. When you get one of these notices, you'll see that it will say, or your Experian report says that you have a delinquent mortgage loan, or your Equifax report says you have a delinquent car note, or your TransUnion report says you have too many outstanding debts. They'll say something like that in this letter. Now, when you buy a car, the dealer will pre-approve you for credit. If you look at the retail installment sales contract, in the upper right corner, it'll say seller/creditor, and it'll have the name of the car dealer. They are the original creditor. Now, no car dealer will admit that they are a creditor, much less the original creditor in one of these transactions, but they are the ones who make the note. Then they sell it or assign it to a bank, a lender, a credit union. And that credit union or bank or lender, or whoever they are, is set up to take payments and to properly calculate interest and do all that reporting and everything that comes with being a bank and issuing loans and servicing loans. And so the car dealer is not set up for that. They're set up to sell cars to consumers and sell notes to banks. That's where they make their money. Oftentimes, on a single car transaction, a car dealer will make more money selling the note than they will selling the car. This is especially true in used car transactions where they can jack somebody's interest rate up and then sell it to a bank for the difference between the interest rate they charge the consumer and the interest rate the bank charges. Sometimes the dealer will make a $1,000 or $2,000, maybe $3,000 on the sale of a used car, and they'll make the same amount or more selling the note. So, after the pre-approval and the sale of the note, the bank will then do its due diligence. Have you ever bought a car and then had a bank call you up and verify your employment, your address, etc.? Well, that's the bank doing its due diligence. They're checking out everything, making sure that it's a legitimate transaction. Sometimes the bank decides it doesn't want to accept the note and it will send it back to the car dealer. The car dealer, again, they're not set up to handle taking payments and to administer car loans. They just sell them. So they will call you up and say, sorry, it's not going to work out. We can't offer you this credit transaction after all. Can you bring the car back to us? This is over. Well, they've just turned you down for credit as a creditor. What are they required to do? Send you an adverse action notice under the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Do dealers know this? Absolutely not. They don't do it. I've never seen one. I've had folks come to my office with a dozen letters from banks saying why they can't get credit. That's because the dealer will shop these things around if they get turned down by the first bank. But no letter from the dealer saying the dealer's turned them down for credit. Because again, the dealer doesn't believe. They don't believe that they are a creditor. They're just a car dealer. Well, they don't know. Now, a lot of times what will happen, instead of just saying this deal's over, the dealer will try to salvage the transaction. They'll call you back in and say, hey, can you bring the car back to us? We can review the contract and see if we can get you into something else. Well, that's the start of a yo-yo transaction. A yo-yo transaction, I've talked about in another video, but they do the same thing, sending you out and back in, out and back in, like a yo-yo at the end of a string. So even if there's not a yo-yo, a back and forth, even if they just turn you down for credit and tell you to bring the car back, they've still violated the law. It's a different law that applies in the yo-yo transaction that applies in the transaction that just gets canceled. But there are lots of powerful federal laws that protect you from shady car dealers. And sometimes these car dealers are not so shady. Sometimes it's big, mainstream Chevy, Dodge, Ford dealers that do this type of stuff. They just don't know the law, and they have aggressive salespeople that get out there and want to sell cars. If you feel like you've been cheated by a car dealer, I'm happy to look at any paperwork you've got and listen to what happened to you until you've got a case. If you've learned something from watching this video, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.